Hey.
Well, hey, indeed. Took longer than usual to go from loading to now live. We were getting worried.
Mm-hmm.
But it says we're live now.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I hope we actually are. In the meantime, let's say hello to people in the chat.
Hey.
We have Dark Moon Gaming.
Ooh.
Yeah. Paulina. Web Dev Made Easy. Sky Duncan. Conan. Debbie Dan. Oh, hello.
Hey, welcome back.
2 minutes left, said Conan.
Wow.
Now we are live. Alana's here. Woo, shout out to my newsletter buddy. We write the newsletter together. Speaking of which, the latest edition will be dropping soon. You can get a sneak preview right here. And there's also a link to join up so we can all share what goes on in the Scrimba community. So if that's your cup of tea,
very nice.
check it out. Totally. Yes. Hello also to Alexander.
Oh, that's right.
Yay. Very good. And Gina and Ankit and Dinesh. Wonderful to see you all here. Michael just asked, what are we doing today? And the answer is, we're checking out GitHub Copilot, which is very exciting.
Very nice.
What this will look like, it will be part demo and part discovery. Yeah. I used Copilot for the first time only yesterday.
Really?
I was amazed by it, I have to say.
It's very nice.
Yes, excited to
very nice.
have a look at it, I suppose. And Michael's been using it commercially, you might say, for a while now, I believe.
I actually got somehow I got an invite when it was in beta. Good. I don't know, maybe like 6 months or something.
Nice. So you will be the pro. Good to know.
I mean, to be fair, it's so good that I don't actually notice it anymore. It's I just think that's what autocomplete in VS Code looks like, and that's it. It's very good.
Yes, well, we'll find out what it's all about very shortly. But first, some music. Daydreaming? Yeah, that'll do for now. And the plan I have is you may remember from a few weeks ago, our vacation planner. We made this in Scrimba without Copilot. It took us a while.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of copy-pasting stuff.
Yeah. My plan is to recreate this with Copilot by our side. Yes. But first, I have a couple of questions for you, Michael.
Okay,
please enlighten us. Question number 1 is, what is Copilot and why should I care?
So GitHub Copilot is, I guess it's like it's a piece of software that is aiming to make coding a little bit easier. So it's kind of assistive technology where it helps you instead of memorizing all the properties and what you need to type. It's kind of trying to hint you with prompts. But unlike in VS Code, when you type a variable and then press dot, and then it gives you a list of things that you can pick from, which is called IntelliSense. So unlike IntelliSense, GitHub Copilot is also trying to kind of approximate what you are going to type. So sometimes, like in the demo, you can go it's all across languages and stuff like that. So if you type, for example, a web function, then because it's like AI based, they basically scanned through public repositories in GitHub, read like all the different code from like Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, whatnot, and they're basically trying to assist you on the most likely thing you'll want to have based on all of those like heaps of code that Copilot has read. So for
example, here the human has typed in a comment, get average runtime of successful runs in seconds, and Copilot apparently have come up with this.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite fascinating. You can literally just type what you want a function to do. I mean, it's quite interesting that in this demo, it says get an average runtime, and it already proposed you how to do that, how to extract that into a function. In my experience, usually it kind of like proposes you blobs of code rather
line
than
by line type of thing.
Yeah,
although
line
it
by
kind of
line.
is doing that in the GIF, I guess it is.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So
I
it's
guess
like,
that's just for the
you
ease of
do
looking at it.
type out a function, how you want your code to look like and stuff, and then based on those inputs, it will try to hit you towards. So there are some ways of making Copilot inputs a little bit more correct. It's like usually you would comment your code a little bit, you would write a name of a function. With TypeScript, it would be helpful if you define types beforehand as well, and then the input would be pretty good. But sometimes, for example, if you work with a lot of JSON files and stuff, sometimes it's really random. So yeah, it's like some people start freaking out that it's going to take away our jobs.
Yeah, well, actually, as it happens, that was my next question.
Oh, right. That was good.
Is Copilot going to take our jobs?
Yeah.
It is?
No, I don't think so. It's definitely going to make your job a little bit easier because you're going to spend a little bit less time on Stack Overflow.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, and also, like if you type, if you JavaScript, it's like you want to know if a particular piece of text is inside of a sentence or something. I could never remember. Is it dot includes or is it dot contains?
Yeah. So if you watch us regularly on a Friday, you'll know that we quite often know what we need to use, but we can't remember how to type it.
Yeah.
So we go to Stack Overflow, we go to Google, and we find it, and we copy and paste it.
Yeah. So and instead you can just write like a quick comment. Does this string contain this word? And then it should hint you towards the right syntax straight away.
Is it also it takes answers from Stack Overflow, or did I imagine?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I've read the actual like how it works under the hood a long time ago. So, but yeah, could be.
Super cool. Hello everyone who's just joined us. Great to have you here. Thank you for reminding me, Gina, about our tradition.
Oh yes.
Which is, if you are new to watching these streams, please put a bunny rabbit into the chat. If you've been before, hit me with that timer. We don't do anything with this info, it's just for fun. There is a question from Mangaka. Do I need to have some background to understand what we're doing here? I don't think so.
No. You're learning to code. Probably you're a Scrimba student. That's not a hard requirement.
But basically, Copilot can work with any language, can't it? So.
I read that as like, is there any requirement for the stream?
Maybe.
But is there any requirement for Copilot?
I think the question is, do they need a background in anything to understand what we're about to do? And I don't think so. No,
I don't think so.
All good.
No.
Everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
Ooh, Copilot is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. I remember I was really impressed when, because at university I had to write some Fortran, and it's in, basically like MS-DOS. You type stuff, there is no checking or anything. I remember VS Code blew my mind away. It was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, you press dot and all the functions just show up. It was great. So I think it was I was equally impressed with Copilot when I saw it.
There is a question. Can I get a link for the Scrimba Discord? Sure, can I? Hang on. I'm trying to put my mouse onto Michael's screen, which is why it's not working.
Oh yeah, right.
There we go. Come along and say hello. Plenty of bunny rabbits and tigers hitting up that chat.
Wow.
Welcome back. So I want to know how to get started with GitHub Copilot. Now, I installed it yesterday But for the purposes of this stream, I will head on over to Pumpkin's GitHub. Here is Pumpkin's GitHub.
Oh god, that created that.
Yep.
He hasn't been active for a while.
Yeah, he's a bit quiet.
He did have some contributions.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, he has 90 followers. Oh my god. Why?
When you go onto your GitHub, you will see here this GitHub Copilot little widget thing.
Yeah.
Click learn more, and then start your free trial. And
Yes.
you do have to put in your payment details and that, but you get 60 days for free. And you can cancel it in the unlikely event you don't like it.
Yeah.
Not affiliated. But GitHub, if you want to affiliate, just hit me up. Anyway, yeah, so it's very easy to set up and whatnot, because I was a bit worried about that. I thought it would be hard, but it wasn't. It was as easy as putting in your card details and adding the VS Code extension, and away you go.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward to install. Yeah, pretty good. And I think it works with quite. Oh yeah, there you go. So it works with VS Code, Visual Studio, Vim, JetBrains. So yeah.
And then when you've got it, you'll see the pilot dude or dudette, not sure, down here.
Dudette, yeah.
Yeah. Joshua is asking, how do you feel about the ML learning of open source code in various repos? What does that mean?
So basically apologies. So basically I suppose the main problem is open source repos. They were just kind of a little bit of background of what the beef is about.
Yes, enlighten us.
Yeah, so open source basically means that people are free to use it, and you just have some people wrote some of the code, and now Copilot code has ingested all of that as usage, and basically is trying to sell it on to you as hints and stuff. It's kind of like Facebook collects your data, but then it's kind of like selling to advertisers what you are interested in, but it's a little bit less direct than that, because in case of Facebook, it's selling your data to advertisers to advertise to you. While with MS, it's a little bit different, because they just used it as generic, kind of like polling data, before elections and stuff, and now they're just making predictions based on it. So yeah, I don't quite have a very particularly strong opinion. I guess if GitHub Copilot is free for open source developers, I'd say it's probably fine. But equally, they're not targeting you directly, so it's a little bit less nefarious. And also, MIT, a lot of these open source repos are with MIT licenses, so it's a relatively good project, I suppose. Well, I think the reason people object to it is because GitHub is making money on it, while the input was free. They didn't pay for that input. So yeah, there is. I can see why people are a little bit uneasy about it.
Is it not for the greater good though?
Yeah, kind of, but yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, exactly. But also you should consider that.
Just now.
Yeah, you should also consider that there are a lot of really awful repositories on GitHub.
Well, that brings
a lot of my repositories are awful, and I'm not sure Copilot has learned good things from it.
Yes, my next question was, does GitHub Copilot write perfect code? Now, I saw in the stats somewhere that only something like 26% of the suggestions are accepted.
Right. Yes.
Which seems kind of low. This is the Q&A. I will share on the screen now.
Yeah. So that is kind of one of the problems
about GitHub Copilot. If you want to check it out after this stream, how has it been for you as a professional dev?
I think it roughly about adds up. Yeah. I would accept the whole line sometimes, but occasionally I would. You see, that's tricky, because they say that completions they accept it, but how many of those are accepted as is? That would be more interesting, because quite often I accept a suggestion and then edit it straight away. because some
Yeah.
things are not quite right. So it's not all smooth sailing. But again, it gets you it gets you like 75% there in terms of what your function should look like. I think it's pretty good. It speeds development quite quickly.
Can Copilot introduce insecure code in its suggestions?
Yes.
Yikes, watch out.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to test.
Quite often, well, it kind of depends what you mean by insecure, but yes, I would say I think the most common one is like, for example, if you're a backend developer for Express library, and you're just writing your Node backend using Express, quite often the auto suggestions that you go straight away, it goes like allow all headers. It's very permissive in terms of your a bit of a niche example, but it's quite permissive. Normally people are a little bit more restrictive around what headers and what methods they allow and stuff like that. So like the best practice is a little bit more restrictive. But Copilot just off the cuff suggests you line by line by line by line, which is the most popular thing. And the most popular thing is the most basic. People tried Express API, how to do it, upload it on GitHub, and it's kind of the most popular one, but it's kind of very ramping up starting point.
Just having to plug your laptop in, Michael. Okay, we're back.
I think we're back.
Sorry about that short interlude.
Yeah.
Anyway, Debjit made a nice point. I believe it's the worst thing that can happen to a newbie. What's your
Copilot.
take on that? Yeah, because I guess it takes away a lot of the actual
Interesting.
coding or knowing the details, but is that really a bad thing? Won't this be how we're all coding in the future?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. I honestly don't know. It's kind of like, are the new apps for language learning, are they worse than just, learning a language from like old school by the book and like with a dictionary and stuff? Don't know. I honestly can't really tell if it's going to be a better thing or not. I mean, IntelliSense didn't make it particularly worse.
Definitely yes.
But yeah, you can accept a lot of suggestions that are not what you would accept if you had a little bit more experience. But a lot of people just learn, you write some code, you make a mistake, it bites you in the back a little bit later down the road, you correct it, and that's how you know not to do it. So next time Copilot is going to make that suggestion, you're not going to leave it as it is, you're going to tweak it a little bit.
Interesting. Edward wants to know, can it write complex algorithms, or is it just good at smaller tasks like functions?
Ooh, that's interesting. You know what? I did try to like on some leak code, and it was pretty good at it because there is a lot of like free GitHub repositories for like solutions for leak code problems. So it could be pretty good at it. Again, like if it's a leak code type of algorithm that we're talking about, then I think GitHub Copilot would be like excellent at that, especially if like around the very similar problems, there are comments that predated. So it has trained to recognize that comment and suggest you the whole solution in one go, because so many people have done it already. So for that, it would be pretty good. So, if you have like lead code style tests on the job, I think GitHub Copilot might make it very obsolete, although it would be super easy to just ask a couple of questions and know straight away that you haven't written it and you just copied it from Copilot.
But then the question is, well, do you really need to know how to write it?
Well,
which is coming back to what we were saying about DevJit's comment about.
Yeah, so
this is the future.
Again, it kind of depends. It kind of depends.
Okay,
a lot of us use algorithms every day that we don't know how they actually work. Like, when you say JavaScript.sort, you don't know, quite often people don't know which exact sort you used in the background. So yeah, sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be quite, there are caveats.
Totally. Quick question here, and then we'll get on to the demo. How is this different from Tab 9 or Quokka?
So I have never used Quokka. From Tab 9, it's not different. I have used Tab 9.
Really? There's another thing like this.
Yeah, I have used Tab 9 before. Before it was like you have to pay for Tab 9, but Copilot was free. So I would prefer Copilot. With Tab 9, well, now you have to pay for both. Again, I don't think that I'm the most educated on the exact difference. So I would just say, personally, I prefer the output from Copilot. I find it a little bit more intuitive and a little bit easier to work with. With Tab 9, I noticed that most of suggestions I was dismissing, unless it was like very basic dummy data fill it. But it might have changed since then as well. So
thank you for the question, William. Daniel asked the same thing. Eduardo wants to say, Per Howard Morgan, that's our CEO, is a breakthrough teacher. Since I've been enrolled in dozens of courses here and there, he is on another level that on my 30s I've never seen before. If you want to see for yourself this breakthrough teaching, check out our front-end developer career path. And you'll also find Per in some of our free courses as well, like this one, learn HTML and CSS. To find out.
Nice.
Eduardo is so pleased with that. But now it's time for the demo, I reckon.
Cool.
So, yeah, as mentioned, we're going to make this, but with GitHub Copilot. Now, that does mean can't do it in Scrimba. But never mind, we will prevail. So I have Copilot up and running here. So let's just have a look at what it can do. How do you zoom in on VS Code? I've never like that.
Yeah.
So I have in my HTML just the H1, which you can see over there, and an UL with an ID of UL. So the first thing I'll do is grab that UL.
I think you can do even a little bit. I mean, let's try with that.
Let's see what this is. Constant UL equals document query selector. Ooh.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that would grab all of them.
Yeah.
So to see another option, how do you do that?
That's a good question. I never actually tried that. I think once you type
GitHub Copilot.
But like
explore the docs. Getting started.
I think further down there are more docs. But they're mostly to do with setup. I don't know. Like, how do you ask for another suggestion?
Oh.
Yeah, that's just like APIs for it and stuff.
Okay. GitHub Copilot. See other suggestions. I definitely saw this in the docs the other day.
Right.
Yeah. Should have saved it. Didn't. Maybe it's here.
Huh. Yeah, I never actually tried it.
How to guide. That sounds okay. Using right. This is it. Generating code suggestions from comments, enabling or disabling.
So optional.
Seeing alternative suggestions.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. You can hover over the suggestion to see the other suggestions. Okay.
Well, looks like that's the only one. You can option and closing bracket.
Option this?
Yeah.
That's
So it looks
the
like
only
that's
one.
the only suggestion.
Okay, well, we'll go with it for now
Yeah.
for the sake of this demo.
Okay.
So we only have one URL. Yeah, so we've grabbed that. And now, let's make an array of emojis just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Const emojis equals. Oh, it's adjusting one.
Yeah.
Okay, have that one. Smiley, laughing and crying, in love, happy, cool, kissing. Will it just be all of them forever?
I don't know.
Oh. Oh no. I wanted that one. Yeah. So to take or to accept the suggestion, you hit tab and then yeah. Oh. Okay, I think that's enough emojis for now.
Yeah.
So now I want to create a list item for each one. So
I think if you just write the comments what you want to do, it should probably be a little bit better.
Create.
Did you see that? If you just create a function that will add a list item to the URL.
That sounds good.
Yeah, with emojis. If you just type the rest of it. So tab the suggestion to the URL with emojis. So type out the rest with emojis. So now hit enter on that.
Function add emoji.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So
constantly document create element Lee. That's what we want. Lee inner HTML emojis math.floor math. Oh, it's randomizing the order of the emojis dot length.
Yeah.
Ooh, pen child Lee. Oh yeah, that's what I want. And now we run that. Add emoji. Get ready.
So for some reason it says like where hover over under URL. I think it's like.
What's that?
Oh, that's in VS Code. That's the suggestion.
Well, it's working, but it's only adding one.
Yeah.
So we want to add a for loop.
So create a function that will add a list item. So change that.
Well, let's leave that one there and then make another one.
Okay.
Create a function that will add a list item. Right. So this is what we already had. But you're saying instead of a list item.
Add all the emojis. All.
What to the with all emojis?
Yes.
Or list items, I guess. No. Function add emoji.
Add all emoji. Look at that.
Oh yeah. There's my for loop.
I think it kind of.
Oh, it's doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Wow, this is amazing. And then my brackets, and I think I need another one. Yeah. So now I add all emojis.
And then
I'll put that below that one. Okay. Let's give that a go. Yeah. Woo!
pretty good.
Well done, Copilot. Brilliant.
Yeah, pretty good. Do you think it can do like more complex layouts?
I sure hope so, because otherwise it's not very useful if that's the only thing it can do. But we're going to find out in a second.
Yeah.
By giving our vacation planner a go. Dark Moon is wondering.
Yeah.
Is Scrimba ever going to do a back-end dev course? Yes, it is, but no release date yet. Alt and open angle bracket. Yes, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're boomers apparently for not knowing that.
Yeah.
As a newbie, when you use Copilot, you reduce your errors, which will come back to bite you later. You're not doing enough research when you're using Copilot. Yeah, I can see that point. But then maybe it would suggest things that you wouldn't otherwise have thought of. So it could go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way. You know, you can say the same thing that, you know, if you Google or use Stack Overflow instead of reading man pages in your CLI, then, you know, you're reducing the number of errors you're going to make. So there's always the Stack app that makes life a little bit easier, but also kind of hides the learning opportunities from making a lot of mistakes. So you always have to make this balance of productivity versus, you know,
Actually,
learning just enough to do your job.
Yeah. I am fresh. I am fresh. Wow, it suggests code completion just by the comment. You're right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's pretty amazing. So now I'll hand the keyboard to you, Michael.
All right.
And we will try to recreate our vacation planner.
Ooh.
So this is the code we had so far. So let's see what we can do with this. We can have a clean slate, I reckon, and nothing in our HTML. So yeah, you're going to do the HTML with this as well?
Yeah, I think you can do HTML with
Leave
it.
it up to you. Where you go?
I think you can do something like, what is it? So what we're actually having here, a header with a palm tree emoji and a form input. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Header with a palm tree.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay.
Okay, I mean,
That's giving you a header tag, which is not what you want.
yeah,
but actually, maybe you do want that. This is what I mean. It's suggesting things we wouldn't have thought of. Welcome to the palm tree.
Yeah, it's just like welcome to the palm tree, but you know, I'm just gonna grab. Just gonna actually grab what I want. But then it says like, yeah, see, like an image. So assume that you have an image, and it gave you an alt tag, which is pretty good. But I think it's a little bit simpler. We want. So did that do it? That did it. Okay. So now a form to get user input. Look at that. It's like
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you want that.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do, actually. And here is like where you can see where it's a little bit iffy, because it just goes like, oh yeah, sure, you want index PHP with it as well. I don't think I do. But what is it? Alt and
What are you trying to do?
Command.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah. That's giving you some stuff.
yeah, that gives me a lot of stuff like start date, end date. So I think what I want to write probably a little bit more descriptive comment here. Form to get user input, to add, to do item.
Yeah. With checkbox, maybe.
Sure. With check. Yeah, so it just says, I mean, why not? I'll accept that and I'll close the form. But then here, a list of to-do items. Yes, please. Now it says again PHP. What if I just say not PHP here? I don't want PHP, mate.
I'm not sure that would work.
No, still PHP.
Has anyone ever written a comment of this is not PHP? I mean, maybe.
Yeah. A list of to-do items. So. Oh me. Oh yeah, look at that. It actually does cycle through it, but yeah, it still just gives that. So I think you need to give it a little bit of a hint. Like, I want the UL,
Mhm.
and I want. I mean, to be honest, I just want the UL.
Okay.
I'll do. I think that should do it. Okay, so.
So what do we have now over in our browser? Okay. We have a.
It does say checkbox on the form.
Oh, right. That's not what you wanted, though.
That's not what I meant, but.
Never mind. The rest of it is what we want.
Yeah.
Compare it to our first one.
Yeah.
The one on Scrimba.
So what I want is, I don't think I want an action on it, because I don't think we had an action in the original one. Yeah, it just said, like, if you have really detail with the comments, I think it will pick it up. So ID form input. There you go. So you kind of, well, look at that. You say comment label, and then it kind of suggests a label. So if I don't want a label for destination, I just want a label for like the to-do item.
The to-do input, you mean?
Yeah. So like
And then
here
we need
we
to
said,
give it an ID.
Yeah. So here we said. I know. I mean, like this part. I think that's how.
Oh, right.
I think that's how we did it. Just say add to do.
Yeah, but you still need the input. The input still needs an ID to link them. Otherwise, it won't make any sense to screen readers and stuff.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. See, so.
Did you?
Yeah, you still have to double check, but you know, not having to type all this is pretty good.
That's true. Okay, let's go to the CSS and do some styling.
And I don't think we want this. I think like previously we did a button, but yeah.
Button type submit, maybe?
Yeah. I wonder if it's gonna. Come on. If I just do this.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yay.
There you go. So if you close the thing, you'll have to learn how to work around its own little quirks. But yeah.
All right, back to the browser. That's what we have. That is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't think Copilot is going to take our jobs just yet.
No, I don't think so. Because it's like you still have to. It just adds code on the page. It doesn't know the context and stuff. So it's like
adding anything, as we've just seen. Yes, great learning session. Thank you, Nadine. I'm enjoying it. Okay. Let's do some CSS. Let's see what it comes up with.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
So we want our blue background.
Okay.
Oh, what happens if you write center everything? Azure, wow. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't call that Azure.
That's the wrong color.
I'd call that grey. All right then. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's blue. Maybe you should try light blue background.
Yeah, but come on, it got you there.
Oh, you did what we asked. Yeah. All right. And then get rid of
Okay.
It's grey. I think you needed a space between light and blue. Right, now see what it comes up with. 555.
Is that correct?
That looks like a grey. So it has some issues with discerning colours, we've ascertained. So
that's all right.
Unless it's blue, it knows blue.
It knows blue. I'm pretty sure it knows simple colours. Yeah, but they're good enough. Okay.
Good enough. Ship it.
With
Center everything.
Center.
Everything horizontally and vertically.
Oops.
Okay.
Well, this ID doesn't exist. Center. So you
Yeah,
see,
but if you accept that, what does it come up with next? Because if you...
that's that.
So if you add that container then, would that work? I think it... It's not the best way of doing it. I think that's fair to say.
I mean, why not? Let's. But that's the thing. It's like, what do I add it to? Body?
Yeah. For now.
So in that case, I'll just say body. Yeah.
Okay. So not.
So I think
Copilot isn't great at centering things, which makes sense because people aren't great at centering things either.
So well, yeah. Center.
Maybe just try horizontally.
I mean, look, that was center form horizontally and vertically. I think. Well, I mean, it's not. But
it might be within its container.
Yeah, see, so like with a simple enough tweak, even I could manage to achieve something like this. So amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, crumbs. Yeah. Make the font bigger.
Make the font bigger. Which one? Oh boy.
All of them.
Make font. Yeah.
I think it might already be 2M.
Oh, hang on. Did I need to say that? No.
I think it might be 2M by default. Okay. Good stuff. I think with this non-light blue, we should change it to white. And yeah. I think we can move the thingy in a bit so we can see more of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Change font. Oops.
Okay, Michael, this is getting a bit out of hand now.
Yeah, so you still have
rid of this.
You still have to know what you're doing.
Change. Oh no, hold on. I need to comment. Change body font color to white. Okay.
I think that is.
Yeah. Nice. But the annoying thing is, if you then want to change something else on the body, like if I want to change, how do you? I'm having
command comment.
Yeah, but what? I just did it, and now I can't remember what. Hang on. Ah. Okay. Michael, what do you press to comment these things?
Oh, command and comment.
What do you mean? Command shift?
No, command and this.
I swear I was doing that. Anyway, What was I saying?
You've got what buttons to
I was
press.
doing that. Anyway, if you now want to change body font family to Arial.
Yeah.
That's good and all, but you don't really want it in another selector, do you? Ideally, you'd want it in here.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm wondering if that's.
Is there any way around that then?
I think it might suggest you something if you just hit enter after font size. It might give you like another prop that you might want. So instead of driving it with comments are like more for like a piece of functionality that you're writing from new, instead of updating the old one. If you want to update the old one, you probably want to add a little bit more.
So try this?
No, so like, yeah, it might.
Oh, so maybe, I'm writing it in the wrong place. Oh, no, that's interesting. What does it come up with here? Font weight bold. Sure, why not?
But not a comment.
Yeah. Okay. Text align center. Yeah, that sounds good.
For some reason, it's like it only
What else
wants to
is it gonna
suggest it
do?
if you comment it. If you start like commenting, it seems like
Oh, yeah,
it picked up.
Text shadow. Okay.
Hmm.
But I can't. Oops, I can't just tab it. I have to uncomment it,
Yeah.
which is a bit different, but that's okay. Right, what else? No more suggestions. Okay, well, we now have this neon effect, I guess.
I mean, that's not bad.
I've seen worse from me. Anyway, let's do some of the JS. Crying cat, yes. Conclusion. Copilot might be taking your job. Can you make, says Alana, one line saying, oh, change font color to X? Interesting. Let's try that. So change font color to X and then make font. I think you could do that, yeah. Let's say change body font color. Oops. Change body font color to orange and font weight to, what is there apart from bold?
Italics?
That's not a weight.
I don't know.
Okay, something else. Font size to 6M. Okay. It's doing something. It is an orange.
And it's not.
Yeah.
What did we write? The font size to what?
The font color to orange and font size to 6M.
Oh, okay. So it did do that.
It has done. It's also done a load of other stuff, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's kind of look. It based it on what you have above it.
Oh.
So you
right.
kind of copied it from what you already had.
So then you would just go and get rid of this. Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you would, because.
Okay. It hasn't taken this one across because it suggested the 6M. Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It copied the other properties.
Yeah.
So how does GitHub Copilot exactly work?
I have no clue.
Well, broadly speaking,
I don't think anyone knows exactly how it works.
it looks at all open source, or maybe not all, some at least open source code on GitHub. And I think Stack Overflow, but don't quote me on that. And it looks at things that people have written and comments people have written and suggests those. So when it sees a comment in an open source code that says change body font color to orange, it suggests the code next
At some point
to
it did say that it was learning, like, using comments as inputs and stuff. But that's the thing, is like the way these neural networks work is that it's very hard to sometimes predict what it uses as an input.
And I
what it
guess,
doesn't.
is it learning from when things get rejected when you're using it? Or not? That's a bit creepy if it is. I'm not sure if I want it to do that.
I wonder if that's the case. I mean, you probably should. Yeah, it probably should. But it definitely looks through your code, like, and suggests things. It'll suggest the patterns and like the naming convention that are already in your code.
Yeah, like just now, it suggested these properties that we already had. So it's
Yeah, and quite often, like, for example, if you're like, I noticed when I was coding a couple of times, it does suggest a very domain-specific thing that is you can only find in your code base because there's a very particular naming thing for a particular thing, and it goes, "Oh, you want this property named like that," So it definitely hasn't pulled it out from closed source. So yeah, it also learns on your code bases too.
So
Just keep the
it's
patterns.
like an assistant. I'd say it's kind of like an autofill.
It's kind of like a co-pilot. It like pilots alongside with you.
He wasn't paid to say that. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, in VS Code, it suggests auto-completing a tag and things like that. It's like that, but really beefed up, and it can do much more things. And it can, from just comments, it can make suggestions. So comments in human language.
Yeah, so what's, I think like from here, let's just, while we have a couple of minutes left, I think it would be quite nice to see if...
Shashank is asking, does this work on Python? Yes.
Yeah, it works across a lot of different languages.
All major languages.
Yeah. So I think what we can do is just comment out what we want is take input from the form.
You can expand that.
And it just says like, and send it to the server, but I don't want to do that.
Because we don't have one.
And display it as a checkbox
List.
item
In
in the list.
Okay, yeah, good.
On.
Copilot's like, it's Friday afternoon, mate. You're gonna have to give me more than that. Maybe we should break it down. Take input from the form.
Yeah. No. So it's like, give me a comment, but I don't think that's enough. Okay, so in that case, take form from HTML.
Okay, that's promising. Take input from the HTML. Yeah, sure, why not? See what it does. Const input document query selector input. Yeah.
But like we want the input from the form, no?
Yeah, but I think it would.
Right. But
I mean, really, you would use the ID. So all those people in open source out there doing this, I don't know, man.
No, I think we just need the input, right? Because whenever it types the input, because we're not really gonna send it or anything. So take the button from HTML. So it kind of already
use Alt-Stead to toggle
display the
wrap.
input in the HTML as a to-do
item. Yeah.
Can't display query selector. Okay, create a new to-do item. Fair enough. Create to-do. Okay.
Const document create element lee.text content equals to do. But where's it going to get to do from? Oh, right. I don't know what this is.
So it's like you pass it to do. So you see, it uses,
yeah, but where does it get that from?
Display.
How is it going to know that to do should be what's in your form, is what I'm saying.
How does it know?
I guess beforehand you should write, say whatever's in the input as to do.
Take input from HTML and use it to create to do.
Take user input and add to the DOM, says Alana.
Okay, take user input and add to the DOM. Oh, still add to do. Okay, add to do. Let's go. Add to do.
Okay, we do want e-prevent.
Oh, look at that.
Constantly input or value. That looks good. Create to do. Yeah, I think.
And it resets the input.
Okay. So that is grabbing our to do. So now we can use this with the part above it.
Yeah, it already did it. Look.
What do you mean it already did it?
It's already doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got
So,
you. So that should work.
well,
Got
kind
lots
of.
of red squiggly lines, which suggests it won't work.
What does it actually? Don't actually know why it won't. Normally it highlights why, but not in this case. I guess some setting is missing, but yeah, let's just leave it at that. Well, in a way, so
well, we need to fire this on the button then.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to add to do on click of add button, but does it know where? Oh, actually, it wants to add an event listener to the submit.
That's what we want, isn't it?
Kind of. Well, not quite, because the way we've written our HTML is that we have a button. Oh, that says type submit. So actually, that should work. Well, I don't know. Anyway, try. Whoa! Look at that.
Oh my word!
Look at that. More stuff. Whoa! Nuts.
We can find out what these errors are in the bottom left error log. What that X is it?
Yes. Object is possibly null. Well, that's true. It is possibly null.
Okay. So are these errors from Copilot then? Because I didn't have these squiggles before.
I know that's for some reason that's the TypeScript checker. Anyway, they are possibly null, but who knows
Don't
that?
worry about it. We didn't specify the identifier for our input. No.
Why not?
I know we did.
Yeah, it's here. Input. So
Oh
yeah,
well, it works. Yes, exactly. Ship it. So there you go.
it's kind of you see with Copilot, a lot of the time you have this feeling where it's like you're like, whoa, this might work, this might work, this might work, and then it kind of works, and then in the end you just end up with a piece of code that you don't quite understand what it does, and you're like,
I guess that's the danger of it.
Yeah, you're really it's like as if someone has written this code and you have to reread it once again to understand and get used to it again to make updates to it. So yeah, it has its drawbacks. But if you have a really quite large code base, it helps things. And like once you have worked with something, so instead of working from scratch, you've been reading a lot of codes and you want to make an update, it's a little bit easier to do that. So like all that context is not as kind of you'll be a little bit less fearful or while instead of writing it from scratch. But yeah, like connecting HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, it's a little bit wobbly yet. But
How accurate, says Mubarak, is it with JavaScript? Are there stats on how many things get accepted per language?
Yeah.
GitHub Copilot acceptance stats.
It's pretty fast to make a to-do list, I'll give you that.
There might be.
Acceptance rates. Oh, yeah, that's the one. This article.
This?
Yeah. Scroll down. Impact on developer productivity. Yeah, just give me the numbers. Okay, we are. Average shown suggestion users found acceptable. Okay.
So this is across all of it.
Yeah, modest, medium, high, huge. Reported productivity benefit.
Would we really call less than 30% huge? Right?
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
When we had 23% was modest. Anyway, it seems to be getting cleverer, as you'd expect. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Alas, I think it needs a framework to make development easier and faster. Otherwise, it seems not capable of stealing anyone's jobs. Well,
isn't that a good thing?
is all I can say to that. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
it's quite
you,
fascinating.
Michael. Yes.
Well,
Wonderful world. Oh, no, I know what something I want to do before we leave.
what is it?
Bob Cyril did this the other day with Pear.
Okay. Oh boy.
Const Michael.
Oh no.
He goes, oh, it looks like you're an object.
Well, that's
Name
good.
Michael, okay. Age 25.
Close enough.
Location New York.
Nowhere near.
That's all.
I think you need a comma.
Job? Whoa.
Okay. Well, firstly, that's a lie. It's senior.
I'm a software engineer and I love to code.
Okay. Well, kind of.
Hobbies: programming, reading, listening to music, watching movies.
Isn't that for everyone?
Add a method to the object.
Oh no. Okay.
Print
print
bio
bio.
function. I can't so long this bio. Sure, why not? And then we have. Oh, I need to. How do I
What?
run this then?
Oh, I think it should be. Well, no. You should attach it to a window, I suppose. Window.Michael equals Michael.
Here?
After the piece of code.
Window.Michael equals Michael. Oh,
Yeah.
it should be.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Where's that?
Well, anyway, let's not worry about it. Let's see what it says for me. Const Leanne. I'm also an object. Name Leanne. Aiden.
Let me guess. There you go. See? It's cold reading. That's what it's called.
Okay, what about pumpkin then?
Just write pumpkin. Oh, we needed to close. Yeah, you needed to close the brace. That's why it didn't work previously.
I thought I did do that.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, for some reason it didn't work.
Wow. Michael.printBio in the console should work. Let's give that a go.
Oh, okay. So it's already attached to the window straight away. Okay, cool.
Got. Thank you, Sarah. Print bio.
Oh, God, this is so corny. Ugh.
I'm fine.
What if you say, comment, create a cat?
Create a
Cat called Pumpkin.
cat object.
Pumpkin.
I don't think it's gonna know. I know. That's Pumpkin.
Good enough.
Name Pumpkin.
Let me get age 25.
Age 1.
Job software engineer. Yes. I'm a software engineer and I love. Okay, so there you go. Well, firstly, he hates programming, reading, listening.
We don't know that he hates programming.
Well, he likes going for walks. That's true. And he likes crunching big bigs.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
We'll be back together on Wednesday because Michael will be joining us to bust some tech jargon.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, fair enough.
A deep dive into the wonderful world of tech jargon. So I hope you can all join us there. A 1-year-old feline software engineer.
Yeah, I know. How many years of experience? Yeah.
The best type.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, please hit like and or subscribe.
Hey.
So join us for some more amazing live streams. Well,
Yes.
I hope they're amazing. I can't promise. And don't forget to sign up to the community roundup so you can get a nice email to read on your Saturday mornings and keep up to date with everything that's going on in the community. Well, that was very interesting, Michael. Thank you for showing me around.
Pleasure.
GitHub Copilot. Thank you to everyone for coming along with your thoughtful questions. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you on Wednesday.
Cool.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Yes. Wait for it. I need to find the jingle. Here we
Oh
go.
no, jingle.